What's up YouTube? My name is Esteban. Welcome to my channel. I recently flipped a $500,000 house and today I'm going to be revealing all the numbers and the details. So in this video, I'm going to be explaining how I financed this project, how much my own money I used, the timeline, going over budget, how much money I made from it, and what it takes for a person watching this to do a similar project, bigger or maybe even smaller. So if you stick around, I'll teach you what it takes to flip a house, what are some of the risks that first time flippers can avoid, and of course, the ultimate, how to make a bag. Alright guys, so first things first, like you saw in my last video, this was literally my very first flip that I've ever done completely on my own. I purchased it and got the money and the financing and all of that fun stuff for this house. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about this project. Number one was my initial numbers in projections / timeline. From a walkthrough, I figured out how much it would roughly take to fix up this house. I then went to my computer and started looking up comps. I looked for comparable sales for houses in that area that were going to be that had sold and were remodeled. My very first pro forma or whatever number breakdown that I ever did, I'll put it here on the screen so you guys can see. I estimated a $30,000 rehab budget and $512,500 purchase price. Assuming that it sold for $650, with all those numbers, I would be making around $55,000. I always had the timeline for 2 to 4 weeks. If I could do that, sell it at $650, make $55,000, obviously in 31 days, hey, who doesn't want to do that? Worst case scenario, if I have to sell this house in 3 months and I make $30,000, I will be happy. When I start losing money, that's when it's not okay and things get, they don't get fun at that point. The way I actually ended up purchasing this property, I don't have $500,000 laying around, and I really wasn't in a position to take out a regular conventional mortgage on this house. And I had to go and get what's called a hard money loan. These loans don't necessarily require a very good credit, or they don't really look at your debt to income. I mean, it kind of surpasses all the things a traditional mortgage looks at. But the kicker is, these are very high interest loans, anywhere from 10 to 15% with a certain amount of points charged up front. In essence, you're borrowing very expensive money. But the reason you do this is because you're expecting to give them their money back in a very short amount of time. Most people who get these loans, they're taking them out anywhere from 3 to 9 months, a year maximum. If you're looking to get into flipping and you don't necessarily have the credit score, your debt to income is high, and you don't have the finances to get started, hard money loans are one of the ways that people can get into the industry. And one of the very cool things about hard money loans, if you have a killer deal, they will lend 100% of the purchase price and 100% of the rehab price. Now, let's get into some of the numbers. I used a hard money loan to buy the house, and what it cost me out of pocket was roughly $17,000 and some change. That's crazy. A $500,000 home, and I put around 3.5% down, and I didn't live in it. That's the beauty of hard money loans. So once I closed on the house, we prepared, I scheduled all my subs, and I got everything in order. I always recommend, if you can plan and prepare ahead and spend more time in that stage, it's more likely that you'll come out at the end with the timeline you expected. So everything was peachy, things were going great, and then we get into the project and things start costing more than I expect. And not only that, things that I thought I could get away with not doing, the more we started to do, the more I realize I have to do more here. Now, the thing with that is once you start, there's not going back. You can't put broken tile back in place because you don't want to spend the money now to replace that tile. I thought, hey, I'm just gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna put in some extra money into this house, and I feel good that I'll make my money back. Now, along with these kind of projects, you get unexpected surprises. Some of those surprises in this particular house were piers in the crawl space, insulation in the attic, the flooring, new windows, not all of them, just some. I had to purchase a whole new AC unit for the master bedroom, and things like that really ended up costing me a lot of money. We went for it. Now, the good news is I was able to get this project done in 31 days. Now that construction was done, it was time to list the house. I put the house on the market and this thing blew up. We had, I think it was about 42 showings scheduled through the online portal. Tons of amazing feedback. People loved the house, and I actually ended up getting 4 or 5 offers on the house. To make a long story short, I ended up accepting 2 offers that fell through in the inspection contingency phase. But once I went back live after that second offer fell through, I had another buyer come, they put an offer in, and it stuck. We closed on the house. It was a roller coaster of emotions and all sorts of things in between, but when that day came along, it was one of, I can proudly say this, the happiest and proudest moments of my life. Now that you've heard the spiel on how all of these things played out, let me do what I'm sure you guys came here to see. Break down the numbers. Now, of course, if you remember, I said my initial budget was $30,000 that I thought this was going to cost. That number literally tripled. My final entire cost for the rehab project ended up being $95,134.36. So, you know, $65,000 over your original budget. Not fun, but it happens. Now, the breakdown of that specific amount of money was $30,000 of it was borrowed from the hard money lender. I ended up going back to him saying, hey, I need this additional money so I can finish this project. We agreed on terms, interest rate, points, and he let me borrow the money. Thank you. $25,000 of that was money that I put into the project. Now, no, this was not including the $17,000 that I put down when I purchased the house. It was an additional $25K that I had to come out of pocket and put into the money. Not the money, the house. Some of that money was borrowed from my family. Last but not least, about $40,000 of that was put on credit cards. So I was thankful that I had my credit cards. I was able to put $40,000 of the rehab cost onto my cards and get this project done. The purchase price of the house was $512,500. And of course are my closing costs. Don't think you can get away with spending even more money. So within those closing costs are attorney fees, taxes, my interest that I owe to the lender, title insurance, home warranty. I had to pay 3% to the broker who brought the buyer and stuff like that. All in all, my closing costs ended up being roughly $69,144.47. The moment we've all been waiting for. Let me break it down for you guys. I bought this house for $512,500. It cost me $95,134.36 to rehab, and my closing costs were $69,144.47. All that comes out to a nice whopping $676,778 I ended up selling this thing for $729,900. So as you can see right here, $729,900 minus $676,778.83 comes out to a whopping $53,121.17 profit. Yeah! I made money. I hit my goal of $30,000 where I would be completely content, and I went above and beyond that. I'm happy. It was well worth it. All in all, this was a thrilling project. You can ask my wife, Sarah. This thing literally put us through the ringer emotionally. It was a roller coaster going through 3 offers, spending roughly $70,000 more than we initially planned, coming up with that money, and just really spreading ourselves thin in these last couple months. My thoughts and advice to you guys, if you're looking at this and you're wanting to get into flipping houses, is prepare really well on the front end. Know that you don't need a ton of money to get started. If you find a great deal, the money will be easy to find. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that breakdown and all the stuff it takes to flip a house and my journey with this particular house. Thank you so much for watching. Follow me on Instagram. My handle is Alex Esteban Official. You can find me on there. I'm always posting stuff. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notifications on. That's it. I'll see you guys soon. All right, bye. I'm out of here.